everyone, and welcome back. We're back again. Storm here.
Mom here.
Kimmy here.
We're going to be watching King Kong today, Skull Island. Kong Skull Island. That's what I see on HBO Max. That's what we're going to be watching. And thank you guys for voting on this to win, because we had it on our Patreon. It's actually been on polls for a while, but a lot of things are. And I was kind of hoping that this would win eventually. And we do select certain movies randomly, but there's a lot of random selections to choose from. Anywho, there's just so many of them. Glad this one won. You guys enjoyed the first King Kong?
Yes, Jack Black was in it.
Yeah, with Jack Black.
Yeah.
Had dinosaurs. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So this one's a reset. It's by someone else and does not follow that story, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have the same concept. Hence, we see Skull Island in the title. We know of Skull Island. That's where Kong is from. Mm-hmm. Right? So I'm assuming that we're going to mainly be on that island and go on a fun adventure. Yeah. Now, Mom and Kim are completely blind to this movie. We saw that Tom Hiddleston's in it. I got really excited about that. But I have seen parts of it. I roll again. Sorry, guys, you know me. But probably had it on TV, and Brian was probably watching it. I was probably doing a project in and out or in between, like, something. But I didn't actually sit down to watch it. And then Samuel Jackson is also in it. Love him. Okay. So we have Marvel people going on. Yeah.
That's right.
We love John Goodman. Mm-hmm. And Brie Larson, of course, another Marvel person. So I was like, woohoo. Yep, Captain Marvel. And a bunch of other well-known people. So I think we should just get into this and then talk after, because I don't really know much about the plot or anything.
Okay, hopefully there's no sacrifice.
Oh, that's true. Hopefully no one sacrificed. And I love Loki, so I hope he's not going to be a villain in this one. We'll see. Not that that matters, because he's a great actor, so either role would be awesome.
Ow, ow, ow.
Ah, is it even possible, really? Ah, your fingers! Oh, yeah, he is!
Boys, stop your fighting.
Open. Woohoo!
Yeah, wow, it's
going to get very windy and hilly.
Nixon's bobblehead.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, gosh.
Didn't even care. See all the wildlife running?
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to destroy the whole area?
Yeah, jeez. Oh,
boy.
Whoa.
He's like, what are you doing to my property?
Ooh, you're going to see his eye.
Oh, boy.
It was going to eat him? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Taste for humans now. He's way bigger than the other King Kong.
no, yes, he definitely is. My God.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, my God. Woo.
He just stays there.
Look at him staring at him.
I will get you. Raw. Yep. Whoa!
What? Oh, my goodness. Whoa.
Maybe it's friendly.
Oh, boy.
Ew! Is that a freaking daddy long leg?
God almighty.
What the heck? What?
Gross. It's going to be acidic or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yuck.
Look at this eyes.
Oh.
I knew it was going to be something. Why are we looking through a lens?
Kidding me?
Okay.
Whoa. No need for that. Come on now. Everybody keep
my goodness, look
now.
Whoa.
Oh, what the?
It's Kong.
Oh, there he is. Ooh.
Proceed. Run. There he is.
Whoa.
Oh.
Ooh, what is that?
Oh.
Instant food.
Calamari,
It's
anybody?
constantly fighting everything.
Gross.
But the devils live below us. But I call them skull crawlers. Why? Because it sounds neat.
Skull crawlers.
I just made that name up.
Those bombs woke up a bunch of them.
Oh, look, it's Dad, that big one that we saw before. Ooh.
I tell you what, you're
What
lucky he's out
indeed?
there.
Ew.
You wouldn't have made it this far.
Don't start picking fights. Ew. It's like a saw freaking
Ooh,
beak.
look at that. Ooh.
Ooh, see the whole freaking tree.
Oh my god. Whoa.
Ooh, all these spikes
Oh,
because they
boy,
constantly
yeah.
attempt to climb it.
Don't go too far.
Oh, he's like, help me. I was gonna say her inner Captain Marvel. He's gonna win. Uh-oh, he's gonna start wanting her.
Yes, I was
You
wondering
were
about
right.
that.
Sometimes life just punch you in the balls.
It's gonna punch you in the balls.
Like that.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah, I freaked out too.
Oh my.
The radio's on the trunk.
Whoa.
Oh, goodness.
See?
Just wanted you off of me.
Yeah, something else is.
Oh, like that.
no.
Yep.
Oh, he's gone
Gross.
like that.
Oh my god.
Oh, no, like that.
Don't leave.
Ooh. You might not want to leave. I don't know. They're looking at him.
I have to say goodbye.
I guess this is goodbye.
Oh.
They thought they were done with Vietnam. Then they see this.
Isn't that
Look
crazy?
at the prince.
Oh my god.
Wow.
We're going
Oh
home.
god.
Oh, no, not him.
It's freaking strong.
Too much gone.
Oh, don't rip them apart up in the sky. Really? That's ew.
No,
Gross.
no, it's
Come on. No.
Something huge died there.
Mhm.
Is that a rib cage?
Humongous. Yeah.
Whoa.
Multiple.
Ooh,
Gulp.
is that the big
Oh.
one? Ooh, what's that do? Gas,
Uh-oh.
gas, boom.
Oh
Yep.
no. Whoa.
Idiot.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh.
Breathing.
Oh.
Run. Okay.
Where? Ooh.
Oh, this thing is ruthless.
No,
That is
scary.
nasty.
Oh. They are ugly. Ooh,
It's
scary.
puking.
Oh,
Of course
it's
he's
like
going
toxic.
to, see? Oh, and it has a
Oh.
freaking perfect. It has the freaking
So that must be
tag.
Jack. Let's go. The
You're
Flash.
John
no.
Goodman, no.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Ooh.
The Flash.
Oh.
Jeez, not him.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, slice him up.
Yum.
Oh.
Ow.
Oh, sick. Oh, jeez.
One by one.
Oh, great.
Oh, this is not good.
Oh, that's not good. No.
No, no, no.
Oh, God. Oh. Oops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
good, he got the mask.
With the right color green, too.
gosh. That's scary.
Oh, yeah, swallow that. Oh. Oh, he's inside again.
Yes.
Can I have my lighter back?
You need to listen to us.
We're not at war, Colonel. You're making a mistake.
Your lies got my man killed.
Don't
Look at him, my gosh.
Gonna fight.
You running with the big dogs or staying on the porch?
Porch.
porch.
Wanna be on the porch. Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah, good.
Me too.
Ants.
Spiders. Oh.
Ants.
Big ones.
Oh, no. Good.
Ooh.
Oh, we meet again.
Yes.
Friendly. That was kind of neat. To
Okay.
the mist.
Oh, that was something else. Oh, jeez. Oh,
He's gonna be so burned up.
wow. You do that?
Yep.
Come through.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Bolt.
Wow.
Slap you silly. Oh, have a little taste of your own medicine.
Porch. Ooh, got stepped on.
Oh. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh,
Trying
yeah,
to
there's
guy.
the big one. Oh,
That's the big one.
yeah.
Oh, I guess you're
Sorry,
gonna do it.
Samuel.
Ooh.
Go live your life.
He's just gonna get eaten. That's all he's gonna do. Do something. Okay, good. Okay, at least
Oh,
go out with a
wow.
big bang. Good.
He's scared to
Oh, he
death.
slaps
Whoa.
Oh,
on set.
damn.
Oh,
Oh,
Died for nothing.
darn.
he tried his best.
Mm.
Ah.
Oh.
Let's get his neck.
Oh my goodness.
He won't let
Break
go.
its jaw.
Oh,
Break its
he's
jaw.
lifting him.
Good,
He's lifting
good,
it. Yes,
good.
snap it
Yes.
open.
Ew.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a good
Nice
weapon. In
weapon.
itself.
Well, look at that. Whoa. Whoa.
Nice.
That should
Yeah.
do it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Save her.
Oh,
Catch her.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was it.
Ooh, slice it right open. Yes.
Ooh. Oh, yes. Ooh,
Excellent.
good. Yay.
Oh, tiny.
Don't shake her.
Oh.
Damn it! Are you serious? There's
thought
another
for
one.
Sure. There must be another one.
Yuck. That's like Game of Thrones.
Oh, she's in the middle of it. Ew.
Yeah, there he is. Ooh,
That
that's good.
scratch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's baseball. Oh, that's good. We get to see.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes.
28 years.
I don't know if she's still there, but
I mean, you want to keep hope alive, but
oh, that must be his son.
Mm-hmm.
So what's? Oh,
It's like, is it true?
that's good.
Well, he's got a tale to
that's-
tell her, huh?
Oh, he sure does.
yeah, that was fun. I
That was
honestly
good.
didn't expect that.
Oh,
I
I'm
wanted
so
to
glad
see
he
that,
got
but
back.
I thought it actually ended with Kong zooming into his eye, and that was the end. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, we're not going to be able to see that. So, what do you guys think?
I really
I thought it was
loved
good.
this
I
movie.
loved it.
I
Yeah, I
liked
did too.
I liked this one over the other one we watched.
Yeah.
I
This is
really
really-
did. I liked the background of the science behind it as opposed to like making a movie behind it.
That was good. Very
Now,
good.
one thing I like about the story is the mystery behind it, where you have like this island that no one knows about, and it's all like legend.
Yes,
and no one
that's
believes
right.
in it.
Yeah, they want to explore it.
Mm-hmm.
And the primitive people, the people that are there, they were quite different than I thought. I thought the typical, they were going to sacrifice the photographer.
Yeah, they're going to be so
they were gonna
aggressive.
and I thought Kong was going to be more into, just having her and saving her and trying to separate her from the group. But I love the idea of the two ideals of to save Kong and then to abolish him,
That's
I love
right.
those two ideas.
Mm-hmm.
The military point of view.
And I thought when he was on fire, I thought he had died.
Mm-hmm.
And now he really
realized
got
when he
burned up.
fell to the ground.
Yeah.
I thought so for sure.
Yeah, and that was so terrible too. And I agree with Kimmy where it was cool how it was different from the typical story.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I never really saw the old Kong movies, but I know the basic idea of the beautiful woman, that he's just like captured by her beauty and is obsessed with her and saves her, goes up a building, gets attacked by a lot of people, goes up a building and like hits down helicopters and stuff. So it was neat to have the helicopters, kind of not similar, but that same idea sort of, but different concept with them attacking from the start in his domain. And he was not obsessed with a beautiful girl. He
That's right,
had
yes.
an appreciation or respect because she was trying to save that other creature, even though there was no way she could. But he needed to see that, and he seemed really smart to understand certain things, and he's the protector, so he has to be, I mean, it could be instinctual, but I think he has to be pretty smart to know how to defend and what's bad and how to protect the other,
Yes.
living creatures around that need
Understood.
defending. So I like how it wasn't an obsessive thing. There was more to it, where we were more focused on Kong being the good guy, and then we have these evil demons underground that are evil.
Oh,
So
they
they're
are.
killing
Oh,
everything,
they
and
are.
he has to keep them, underground or kill them off or something. But there's such a challenge. Like, even though he is like the biggest thing around, they killed his parents. Like, those skull crawlers killed
Right.
his, I keep saying crawlers, but crawlers killed his parents. So it was pretty devastating. So I do like how there wasn't like a full romance. I do enjoy the romance a lot, but that was not a main focus at all with Kong or with a significant other with the female. So
That's
that
right.
was nice. Like, we had Tom Hiddleston as the love interest, and I love that, and I love those two together, but it was cool, and I thought it was not awkward, but I thought it was better this way, where I could really appreciate it and didn't feel like, okay,
I
here
thought
comes the
so, too.
romance, because we need a little bit of
Yes.
that.
Yes, it was just
for
a
once
hint
I'm
here and
the other
there.
way.
It was
Yeah.
a little hint, but that was it. That was great.
Yeah, and they were more just working together, and he kept trying to protect her. And I wanted to make a joke saying like Loki and Captain Marvel, what? But, yeah, so they were great in this film.
Especially when he got his sword out.
Yeah,
And
I
also-
love that when they bring up the sword and it's like shing.
Yeah. And also Colonel Packard, he was so obsessed with Kong.
He was.
He was.
I
he just
love-
thought he was the enemy right
No,
from the
I
start.
tell you.
See,
yes.
Samuel Jackson, we've seen him in many roles now, and we love him. I know you guys
Yes, we
love
do.
him.
Yes.
And I always see him as Nick Fury, because Marvel's like our main thing
That's
that we
right,
watch
yes.
on the channel, and I just always see him as Nick Fury mainly. And then on Pulp Fiction, he was so great at that role too.
Oh my gosh.
So many good roles, but in this one, like he again was good, but man, I couldn't stand his character. Like at
no,
first,
me
I'm like,
neither, yeah.
okay, he's for his people, he wants to defend, he's a soldier, he's strong,
He wants
like
his men.
and he's
Yeah.
all military, like you said. He wanted to stay in the military from the start, and he's like, thank you for this mission to go off and like still be a leader, lead his soldiers into battle kind of thing. But he was so obsessed with it, and he wanted to protect people, but he was too clouded by hate and proving like how strong he is, and he was making
That's
bad
right.
decisions. He actually went into someone else's territory that you don't understand, and you're trying to dominate because we're superior.
It's
you know?
it's almost
see?
like if you look at an American going to Vietnam, you're in their territory, but you're fighting a war.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
it's no different than him going to Skull Island and getting at Khan, but you're in his territory, but he didn't do anything to you to
Yeah.
That's right. He
They
didn't
weren't
go
even
in a
this
war.
way. Yeah.
They weren't in a
Wasn't.
war. He's a species on this island that you don't know about, and
That's
you're
right.
going in there full bore, just shooting him up and trying
And
to
acting
kill
like
him
it's
right
your
off
right.
the bat.
Yeah.
It's
And-
it's habitat.
Yeah,
And he was
and-
basically watching over the people
But
there
that's
too.
how he kept thinking was, oh, this is the
Yeah.
enemy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here to conquer.
Yeah, he was watching over the people, but they didn't know that. They just assumed
No,
he
they
was a
didn't know
bad
that.
guy, and they went
Yeah.
over and started hurting him. Of course, he's going to defend himself, but then
Oh,
there was more
sure.
hate because he's like, oh, well, now he's killing my men. He's destroying, like, I know he's against that, but it's more of a pride thing, too, where he's like, oh, he thought he was just going to take over, no problem.
Yeah.
And then with those charges, like, that was not to check out the Earth. That was to actually scare out the creature, whether it was
That's
Khan
right.
or the skull,
That's right, yeah.
I
crawlers.
totally fell for that.
Crawlers.
I didn't think they were going to do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad because there were so many different species in there, even deer. I mean,
Blowing
there's
up all the
That's
creatures.
right. They
It's
just
like
found
they
out
don't
the
know.
point. Yeah.
Just blowing up, destroying. And I know they're trying to make a point too, like, oh, jokingly, not really, but like humans destroying everything that's new. We don't understand, and
That's
always
right.
making it look really bad. And
And
but
there
in
were
this
people
case,
on the island too, They could
There
have
were
been
people.
blowing, yeah.
Right.
exactly,
I
we were
mean,
saying that too. Like, you
yeah.
don't know who's on the island. Like, it might be like there might be a civilization just because the
And
outside
there
world
was.
hasn't been in there. Maybe there's people who have adapted or were born there originally, like we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I love John Riley. Like, he is so fun, and I like his character and him actually being
yes.
part of the tribe there. And they were
Like,
well
almost like
respected.
he was-
Yes.
Yeah.
It was almost like he was like the leader, but not. I
Yeah.
don't know. I hope they
right.
didn't make him a leader.
the
It kind of was
peacekeeper,
like
yeah.
that because he was like
Yeah.
the focus. But then I'm like, oh, of course, like this. I don't want to say typical white guy, but this guy who's like superior to them or something. But I think it was just to show because he was an outsider that they maybe worshipped him a little bit because maybe he brought in some good insight, or I don't know. But
He's a good interpreter of both groups,
Yes.
the people that live there and the people that are, basically
right.
visiting.
yeah, and they were really
new
respectful,
group.
and they trusted
Yeah.
him once they were confronted, or once they confronted the new people coming in. He was able to be like, "Hey, everything's good," and they just
That's
full on
good.
trusted him. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
fun. I like this
That was
idea more
good.
than like scary tribe people who just want to
Yeah.
sacrifice you.
That's
Yes,
what I thought
right.
they
And then
did.
you had
Yeah.
that on top of it. Instead of that, you had this other species, this whatever they call them. What was he calling
The
them?
skull crawlers.
Yeah.
I keep saying
Skull
skull
crawlers,
crawlers
yes.
because of the skull, because
They
there's
look-
UL in there. So sorry, guys. I don't be corrected,
geez.
but I love the
Oh,
idea, and then the
geez.
humor behind it, where he's like, "No, well, it sounds cool. I'm trying to scare you guys. Okay, now it sounds dumb."
Yeah. Now that I say it out loud.
And that was a great mix too, where it wasn't always like super scary or too humorous and dumb. Like, it had a real good mix of light humor mixed with scary moments. And what did you guys think of the skull crawlers? Did you think they were?
They
you guys
were
Oh,
say
they were
very
really
creepy.
intimidating. Yeah, very intimidating. They were really. Ugh,
that really freaked you
just-
guys out.
Yes, I
did.
didn't like
Especially the tongue that had like separations at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to
Almost
count
like
how
a-
many like little tendon things were coming off, and I was like 3, 5, I think 5, maybe 6. So I didn't want to keep counting. So I was
It's really creepy.
I
Oh.
loved it. The design of it was really cool, and the idea where I know it wasn't a skull outside of the like muscle or anything,
There
but it
wasn't
looked
much
like
flesh
that.
there.
Yeah, it was just it was a lizard type creature, and it looked like an appearance of a skull over it, and even the spine and the rib cage wrapping
Yeah, it
around.
did.
So it could have been inside out, sort of, kind of. We don't really know the anatomy. It's a bizarre creature that we've never seen before, and even just like bipedal or just like the back legs or front legs that it could use as arms, and just creepy as heck.
Yeah,
I
and
love
the eyes,
design.
like the
so
sockets
weird.
were sunken in, so you don't even see the eyes.
The eyes were actually, that's what tricked you too, because the eyes, it looked like it was sunken in, but the eyes were actually behind that part.
Oh, see, I
Yeah,
wasn't
that
even
was really
focused on
smooth.
that.
Yeah,
That
had
was
these
really
little
cool.
eyes behind
Yeah.
it looking up and everything. But he could have like
Ooh.
maybe 2 sets of eyes where they were sunken in and then the ones outside behind. So just bizarre. So certain things you would
was.
think you would see in anatomy were very different in that. So it would throw you off. But loved the idea of it. And again, all the giant creatures. Did you guys expect to see a lot of other giant creatures?
I
Oh my
had a
God,
feeling
there
we
was
would
like
see
a-
others. If
that
there's
big spider.
if there's big
Ooh.
guys there,
Yeah.
God knows what else you can see. I thought we were going to actually see more of that, but I'm glad we didn't because
Yeah.
they took down a couple guys every time they saw something.
Yeah. Yeah, that was insane. And even the freaking spider, like,
Oh,
I'm
that
glad they didn't
Oh, that's
Oh,
go
that was
too
tough.
crazy with the giant creatures like the other King
Yeah.
Kong. I know
Me
we're comparing
too.
now with James Cameron. Like, loved his movie. The style was great. And this looked different. It had like a lot of hazing, and I like the lighting that they did in this one.
Yes.
But yeah, like the idea of the creatures, like the huge creatures weren't like over the top, always like, oh, come on. Like the other one with all the insects taking over. Like you had one mishap. You heard about
Oh,
ants, but one mishap with this terrible spider that was kind of a funny moment. It was very gross.
Ooh,
Where
gross.
he
It
just
was.
walked perfectly. Hey, I'm looking up right down your mouth. Like, how can we make this really messed up and perfect? And it's like, I'm just going to step right
Oh,
here. It's just a
God.
bad coincidence. But
I
that part was
agree.
like, oh.
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
yeah.
I think it was nicer not having so many detours to get to this point that they had to reach.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice, it was bad enough that they had 2 separate groups
Yeah.
and trying to connect and trying to figure out they're going to do one same goal. And then when they separated on that,
Mm-hmm.
it was,
Yeah.
they had a lot of things to contend to get to that spot.
I agree.
And then to
Yeah,
make
that's
the float, they called it.
I know they had like a combination of.
That's right.
That was great.
I love Marlowe's character with his friend. They were fighting in the beginning. They were at war, right? And then once they
Yes.
were stranded there, well, Kong had to tell them to cool off first. So that was fun to immediately see
Yeah.
that Kong is a peacekeeper. Like, knock it off, you two. What are you doing? And then they became friends after that, to the point
Like
where they were
brothers.
building stuff together. And it
Yes,
really
it
meant
is.
a lot to Marlowe. Like, he was actually really upset and crying over his death, and I love seeing that. So he was saying once the uniform's off, we're the
That's
same.
right.
So the
You're
ideas
absolutely
behind
right.
this were simple but very good and true, and I love that. Even
true.
up to Kong, he looks like a huge monster, but he's actually protecting this island. And then you have these huge, beautiful creatures, like that weird, it's not a bison, or I don't know what you would call a buffalo
Yes,
It's
creature.
like a buffalo,
Kind of
water
cape.
buffalo looked like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it was massive, but don't just shoot it because it's massive and you don't understand it. It might be gentle, and I mean, I know you are trying to defend yourself, but you might make it worse. It's too giant. Apparently, bulls don't do much to like a lot of giant creatures like King Kong. It was fun to like really notice, like, okay, you can't just judge a book by its cover. It's a monster, it must die. That's all I can do is kill it. You always felt bad because then we saw that another buffalo type creature, maybe it was the same one under the plane, but that was after the planes crashed. So
It was
that
the
had to be a
same
different
species.
one.
Yeah.
Same species. So that one was hurt and we felt bad for it.
Yeah,
So
they were probably just herbivores, just grazing.
so it's showing like a lot of good things about like people can get along. Don't judge a book by its cover, that a lot of things are not out to get you, that we trying to be the good people are actually bad, just thinking that we're always in the right and trying to take over for new discoveries. And so, yeah, I like the lessons learned there. Do you have a favorite monster, just to say? I mean, we didn't see a ton of
jeez.
them, but I like to focus on the ones they did show, though.
Outside of Kong,
Yeah, like
I really liked those skulls.
I guess those are like
they
the
were
best
creepy.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
they
they're so
were-
freaky.
Oh, they were freaky, but
I kept thinking
That
the
would
birds
stand
were
out.
going to be something. Like, we did see them a bit, but I'm glad they didn't
Yeah,
really
with that-
focus too much.
Yeah, with
Oh,
that
yeah.
saw type.
Yeah, like a saw
Well, that
nose
was
and
really
crazy
creepy,
eye. Yeah,
wasn't it?
ugh.
Oh, God.
I
But
guess it's,
just
you
to
know,
shoot
just to
it.
protect itself.
Yeah, and just to show, like, you can't just shoot something because you need target practice and you don't understand it. So it was so crazy to see they blew that freaking head off that bird,
Oh.
and then all the other birds were like the leaves of the tree, and then they just flew off. And it's like, oh crap! So I
Yeah.
thought they were going to attack at that point. I'm like, yep, here we go. But I'm glad it didn't end up like that. It was just a surprise to be like, oh wait, see, you don't understand. Look at all of them there. They came back later, but it wasn't like, hey, see what you did? Now we're going to retaliate and get you.
Right.
So it's just
they
a show, it's
probably
like,
had.
whoa.
It was probably just a defense mechanism against these skull creature things.
Yeah.
Crawlers.
Oh, what, later on, you mean?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, they have to protect themselves some way.
It was still freaky
Yeah.
to see that, you know? It's
It
just,
was.
But
And
their
yeah.
designs were just
their blue
nuts.
blood.
Oh, I
yeah.
know. That's
Yeah,
true, too.
yes.
Yeah, I did notice that, but I forgot. I enjoyed the designs. I love the special effects a lot. Do you have a favorite character?
I liked Marlowe,
Marla. That's
I
the one
also
liked.
liked- the young kid that loved his mom.
Oh, you know,
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
like-
any of their,
Yeah,
their names. I
yeah,
just
yes,
didn't-
yeah.
I really thought more people were going to die than did, and I am happy more survived because I was like, yep, they're
Yes.
all going to die. But yeah, I really did like Tom Hiddleston's character a lot. I thought he was really good. I love Loki, so I don't know if it's just a cheap way of me being like,
That's
hey,
right.
I love that character. But Samuel Jackson, immediately I get excited about, but his character was fun to not like. I don't want to say I hate him because he truly had a purpose that he thought was right, but he let that take over his rational thinking, and I did not care for that. But Kong, gotta love Kong.
Oh,
I
yes,
love Kong.
naturally, yes. he's
Unfortunately,
me too.
I kind of wish the military group found the natives and found Marlowe first, because then they would understand more. But it makes sense to get the story going.
Yeah.
With it just the opposite.
Hopefully they would understand more, because that would
Yeah,
be nice
yeah,
to
yes.
see,
Yes.
but who knows what Samuel Jackson would do, like what his character would do there, because he
We're
gets...
gonna listen to Marlowe more. I mean, he was on the island for 28 years, for crying out loud.
That's
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
I
He
would
knows
think
the
I
lay
would
of the
listen
land.
to the guy who knows, like really understands the territory and what creatures are there. Like, they have no idea what they're up against. I mean, even using military tactics, like going through the water, you're on a completely different planet at this point. Like, there's creatures you already
gosh,
saw.
yeah.
Like, for one thing, just seeing a huge freaking ape, a smart ape attacking the helicopters, like an
Yes.
ape, who knows? I don't know what they would do in real life, but, they probably would attack to defend and freak out and run away. But this guy kept on coming and coming and coming, and he wasn't even attacked. Like, yes, the bombs are going off, so it's defending its territory, but it keeps on coming. Like,
That's right.
right away, I'm like, yep, there's stuff we don't know anything about in this territory. And then you want to find shortcuts through, but going through the water, like, calm, like, well, it is what it is. This is what our leader told us to do. I'd be like, what is in there? All kinds of crazy alligators. Like, who knows what's in
Oh my
there?
gosh, yes.
I mean,
that's creepy.
super giant things you can get eaten in one gulp. You don't know because things are so gigantic, but people just get irrational and just think basically, I guess, like,
That's
okay, well,
right.
this is what we're trained to do, so pay no mind to anything else. Like, that's the way you survive, I guess. But
Yeah,
That's
I
right,
thought
yeah. Okay.
I thought Randa was going to be more in tune with Marlowe's experience, because he wanted to know, how to flesh him out and to do things. You would have thought he wanted to know more from someone who's been living there for decades, but there was
right,
there was no. I mean, they had a little bit of time where they were traveling that they could have try to have them talk to each other, but there was nothing. He was on his own mission too.
yeah.
Randa.
That's right, yes.
And I know the reason why he didn't say anything too was because, I got mad at him. I knew there was
Yeah.
something with him, but I was like, why can you tell them ahead of time? But if he said anything, they wouldn't have gone. They would have called him a crazy person. No way. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
they'd still be
that's
Especially
crazy
right,
just
enough to check
finishing,
it out.
they just got released from Vietnam, for crying out loud. These soldiers don't want to be out here for your.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
honestly, overthinking it too, because even if they thought he was crazy, they found an island that has a crazy, like, strong storm around it in the Bermuda Triangle, never been discovered before. Like, that's a lot of mystery right there.
That's right.
So if he had some information, like, maybe, okay, you will sound crazy, but if you're worried about that, just be like, there's vicious predators there, and they're bad. They will kill off anything. Like, you can say something like that instead of,
Yes,
like, there's a
because
giant ape.
he experienced that, because when they took the ship, he was on that ship and his parents died from it, right? I mean,
And not
if he
to
told
say
his true
anything.
experience, right?
Yeah,
to
but he
make this
doesn't even
imagery.
have to say, if you say a giant ape, then they might be like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy's crazy and not listen to him anyways. But if you at least just say there's vicious predators that can kill a lot of people, I've seen it. Like, just say it like that. I mean, they're going to ask for details, but if you're worried about that, then, I mean, I would like to tell people, but I know most, or if any, or no one's going to believe you. So, but not to say anything and for them to go. I mean, they had weapons and stuff, but those charges, man, I would have totally kept those if I knew there were massive predators.
Oh, definitely.
They knew there was something that they were going to be hunting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if anything like would help if they did know a little bit, but to not know anything, that's a huge, not even slap in the face
blind.
at that point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were going in the blind. When they were received by the other military helicopters, now they saw Kong because they didn't really want to say, anything to the outside what they saw, but now the military picking them up just saw Kong. So I wonder how
they were kind of opening it at the end of a possibility of a sequel, and I really enjoyed this, that I would look forward to seeing a sequel of this, because the King Kong first one with James Cameron, love him again, like love Avatar so much, but I don't think, I mean, it still probably would be a lot of fun, but I would not look forward to a sequel so much with that one, I don't think, but this definitely.
This one definitely.
This one definitely, yeah. So I know it's a monster movie. We liked the Godzilla movie that we did see, and that was a lot of fun. So we'll see now that we watch this if we get more Kong requests or Godzilla requests. And it's always a theme like that, guys. Like every time you guys request something and we, like if it wins a poll or if we randomly watch it, you know, that theme tends to win, like superhero movies and stuff. So I'm interested because then it's fun when we touch back on something that we haven't seen in a while, you know, then it picks up again.
Yes. Yep. And I liked it too at the end when Marlo went back to his home.
That was good. Again, I was happy that they wrapped that up.
Really happy like that, yes.
Yeah. They really made you feel like bad and feel good about these characters. And again, it wasn't overly so, which was great, but enough where you really wanted to see certain people be okay and a happy ending.
So. A happy ending, and she had 2 drinks on her tray, probably for herself and her son. So if there was 3, I would say, well, maybe there's another man in her life or someone else in their lives that, you know, since he's been gone, but it looked like it was just her and her son with the 2 drinks and on the tray. So that was good.
That was good.
Really
and
good.
Honestly, 28 years is so long that you want to keep hope alive. But at that point, I want to say
totally
98% or 99 point whatever percent of people would move on. Like maybe not emotionally move on fully, of course, because your loved one, your husband, a father, but you know, his kid was born when he left, right? So he didn't even meet him before.
Yes,
but
I got to see his son finally.
It would make sense that she moved on and had another person in her life. But it was great in that scene because it was the end of the movie to not introduce that. Maybe he was working. Maybe she is still single. Who knows? Maybe she got married again and divorced. No one knows. But it was simple and nice on how they did it to make us feel better.
Yes. And he's just relaxing, watching a ball game.
And he got to do that. So that was perfect.
Very good.
So they had a couple of things that were a little cheesy, but not, you know, but it was kind of predictable. But I really did enjoy that. And going back to Kong, I like how smart he was, where he would kind of relate certain things, like him fighting the helicopters in the beginning of the movie, and he was getting cut up like ow, and not that they're flies or bees or anything because they're a lot bigger, but you think like, oh, when you smack something it could bite back or sting, and you know, he's touching his helicopters and learning like, ow, the blades, you know, they're cutting me, they're hurting me. So later on when he saw that other type blade, you know, he used that as a weapon.
Oh, yes.
So he might like just look at it and go, hey, that could be a weapon. But I think that was associated because he was attacking the helicopters and saw a sharp blade. So that was kind of fun to compare that and be like, hey, I could use that, you know, and use a chain to, I mean, like, that's an excellent weapon. I hope he keeps that now, and he just keeps it at his home so he could defend from those
and how terrible. He lands right in the middle of all these ships and gets tangled up in all those chains.
Oh,
I know some things are cheesy and perfect. Like, it's like, oh, man, like, how great is this? Or when he sat down all injured, like, and you felt bad for him in the beginning of the movie, and then the octopus squid thing came up and just attacked him, like, hey, like, easy meal, that's good. But life is always a challenge for Kong. I think a fun part of this movie was the fact that Kong was the good guy, like the major protector.
Yes.
He's the
Yes,
god of the
definitely, yeah.
island. You know, people worship him because he
That's
protects
right.
everyone.
Yeah.
So that really
That's for
threw
sure.
off the whole idea of him just being a monster. And we saw that, of course, in the original story, where in the last movie we saw where he like was infatuated with this girl and he had a real gentle side, but he was a little bit more, not unstable, but more ape-like too, where instincts would kick in and he would get nasty if he felt threatened. This Kong seemed more human in a way because he stood completely upright. He wasn't hunched over like an ape. And he was very calm. He would just walk away when the battle was done. So he only did what he had to do, you know, and staring
Right.
at the humans too, and getting touched by a human and just giving eye contact.
Yes,
just
and he
understanding.
wasn't upset with the other
Yes.
human there. He was totally fine with that.
So very
He knew
different
that they
idea
were
of Kong.
peaceful. Yes.
I liked
Very
it.
good.
So
Too.
yeah, very good movie. So thank you guys. And
thumbs
I
up.
just want to sit and keep
Yeah.
talking. I'm like, is there anything else I missed? Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Ah,
Oh, I thought
I'm
it
just
was
glad
just
the
a
boys are
great
going
picture.
home after
Yes, me
this.
too. Yes,
Yeah,
after
me
this.
too. So I'm going to again say that I love the cast in this and
The
jokingly-
music, I love the
Yes.
music. Well, it's, 70s Vietnam era.
Yeah, you know what? The
Love
music
that
was a
music.
lot of fun. I really enjoyed that
It was,
too.
very
And
much.
Conrad was my favorite, and I love Brie Larson's character, Captain
And
Marvel
Marlo.
and Loki. And Marlo
like
was a lot of
Marlo,
fun.
yes,
I'm
very
gonna
good.
wreck
Yes.
it. I almost said that a few times during the movie. I'm like, don't ruin it, don't ruin it. But yeah, I like him a lot. He's fun.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of movies we have not seen him in. So, and there's a lot of comedies that I
Mm-hmm.
think would be fun. One other point I did want to make is some of this looked familiar to me, and I'm sitting and I'm like, why does some of this look familiar? Because I mentioned I probably saw parts of this on TV. I totally forgot. I think we saw a trailer for this a while ago on the channel together. So I was like, oh my
Man.
God. So I didn't
Oh
want to
my
say that during the
word.
movie, but
Yes.
honestly, you know, we watch a lot of stuff. We're honest with what we watch, but sometimes, you know, we watch so much that we just forget. So I was like, okay, I remember certain parts of like in the beginning with him attacking the helicopters. You see a hand print on the mountain, the bloody
I
hand print.
remember
Yes.
that, yes.
Yeah, so we totally saw. Now I'm going to look in the channel
Yeah.
to see, but it shows like how genuine we are because we just wing it when we watch things because we do so much. We don't have time to research or anything. So I'm like, oh, cool, you know, but yeah, duh. So I think we saw that. So that
You
would
girls
explain why
absorb a
certain
lot.
things like were familiar.
You girls absorb a lot more than I do, so good for
Mom,
you.
you're a champ for even doing this
you're-
with
oh,
us because
listen,
we
you're
really enjoy like being together and
That's right,
honestly,
that's what it's all about.
yeah, it's what it's all about. And you watch a lot, Mom. I don't know how many moms, grandmas out there actually watch a lot of things like this, like hundreds, thousands of movies, honestly,
I
we've been
guess so.
watching, or just shows, everything, content in general. We've been making a lot of videos the last so many years. But yeah, so I give it a nice clap, 2 thumbs
Yeah,
up. This
you
was
too.
great.
Very
Yes,
good.
I liked
Thumbs
it.
up.
I'm glad. Yeah, this was definitely a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you very soon as always. Wait, guys, don't change that channel yet because I realized there is an ending credit scene, and sometimes I'm good at actually checking the credits, and sometimes I'm not because we got really excited about our review. So thank you for still watching. We are about to watch another reaction, and I caught that. So we're going to watch the ending credit scene. Yay! Shall we?
Excellent. We're
Okay,
glad
let's
there
do
is
it.
one.
Yeah, so that was exciting. I was like, oh no, I should check it all the way through. We did
That's
watch
fun.
on HBO Max, and they don't have a fast forward button that I could see, so I was trying to drag it over, but I kept skipping, and I just didn't see it. It's at the way end, and I was like, oh God.
This world never belonged to us. It belonged to them. The question is how
To
long
them.
before they take it back.
Godzilla! I was hoping they were going to build it up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Woo! Ooh, mythological
wow.
creatures. Oh my God.
oh, wow. Look at
There
that.
will be hell to
Bunch
pay.
of us. Oh,
He's trying.
Did you hear the roar of Godzilla? Well,
More
that
to
was
come.
definitely worth watching. So that was cool.
More to
Absolutely.
come.
So we saw a commercial that our brother sent us a long time ago, and it was not of a Godzilla Kong movie. It was some kind of commercial, and it was really funny. Remember a while ago we saw it, and I was like, it was really hilarious.
Yes.
Is that going to be a movie? And then I heard, God, I don't even know when that was, maybe summertime or something, that there was going to be a Kong and Godzilla movie. So this might be... I don't know if that's going to be the next one or what. I don't know how many of these movies there are after this one, but yeah, I'm excited. So I'm hoping that they're making
I
a
am
sequel.
too.
Yeah,
So
me too.
Monarch
My
is
gosh.
going to be the research company, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like getting interrogated. I was like, oh boy, well, that would make sense, I
Yeah.
guess. You know, they're trying to keep it under wraps, but
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to, with all these monsters now, they're probably going to start showing up everywhere like we saw.
God, it's scary.
So hopefully Godzilla's next. Godzilla.
Yes.
So I think we'll end it there, guys. Really good. I'm glad we watched it. And again, thanks again for watching. Bye.
Bye.